happening, people? I hope you're all well. So Anthony Joshua is apparently going to be fighting Demsey McKean in his comeback fight. Demsey McKean, he's not that known in probably the UK. So Demsey McKean is an Australian undefeated heavyweight, southpaw. I've seen him fight quite a few times. I see him fight against Jonathan Rice. I saw him fight, who's that Argentinian journeyman? The one that fought David Allen. I can't remember his name now. Bracamonte, that's it, Bracamonte. And I see him fight, I think I see him fight a few other fighters. I can't remember exactly who, but I've seen Demsey McKean fight. Solid, technically sound, a bit of power, and tall, rangy. So this guy is a competent heavyweight. He's unbeaten. I can't remember how many knockouts he's got, but I think he's got quite a decent knockout percentage, although I don't think he's the biggest puncher. So Anthony Joshua versus Demsey McKean, you know, for a comeback fight, it's pretty decent. Anthony Joshua, I think after losing to Alexander Usyk, he's going in there facing an opponent that's a lot less proven, but an opponent who has a point to prove. So this is an opportunity for Demsey McKean to go and get a win, you know, a win against an opponent who's been in there with, you know, good fighters. So Demsey McKean, apparently, I mean, I don't think the fight is definitely happening, but as a comeback fight, I think that Demsey McKean versus Anthony Joshua is a pretty decent fight for a comeback fight. For Anthony Joshua, it's a comeback fight against a decent opponent. For Demsey McKean, it's an opportunity to show how good he is. If the fight was to happen, Anthony Joshua actually performed very well against Demsey McKean. Anthony Joshua fought very well against Alexander Usyk the second time. Well, I'm not going to say very well, but if Anthony Joshua performs the way he did against Alexander Usyk the second time, then he's going to beat quite a few heavyweights. That's my opinion. He was fine against Alexander Usyk, who was using his southpaw stance. He was turning Anthony Joshua. He's smaller than Anthony Joshua, very accurate, very fit. So that was always going to be a hard fight for Anthony Joshua. But the second time, he fought a lot better. Well, I'm not going to say a loads better, but he fought better. And if he fights like that against someone like Demsey McKean, then I would say that he's probably going to beat Demsey McKean. Questions with Anthony Joshua, punch resistance, the mindset to go in there and not care about getting hurt. The mindset to go in there, not care about getting hurt, and just take a risk to get a win. The punch resistance, I'm not going to say he's not got an Amir Khan chin. He ain't got anything like that. But he's not got a solid chin. He's not got a, you know, I'd say that his chin is below average for a heavyweight, but nothing, it's not crazy. I think the main problem with Anthony Joshua is recovery time after being hurt. It's not like he gets punched once and he's on the floor. It's kind of like the recovery time after being hurt and the mental aspect to being hurt. I think that's the main problem. But either way, just to sort of round up what I'm talking about, Anthony Joshua versus Demsey McKean potentially happening. Anthony Joshua, obviously former world champion, you know, good power, good combination punching, but on the flip side you've got punch resistance issues, mental issues with regards to boxing, and Demsey McKean on the other side of it. Technically sound, decent power, undefeated, southpaw, which can be awkward for fighters, tall, rangy. And then on the other side, maybe not the most power, unproven, and he actually got hurt against Jonathan Rice as well. So these are things to think about when you put these two together. If this fight does happen, then you would think that Anthony Joshua is most likely to win because of the opponents he's faced as a professional, and his last performance against Alexander Usyk was pretty solid. I know it was a loss, but it was pretty solid. So those are my thoughts. If the fight gets made, do you like the fight? And who do you think would win? Let me know. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, hit the notification bell so you get a notification when I make a new video, and I'll see you on the next video.